Hello there carpologists, I'm Joe and today we're going to be taking a look at the Direct Connect Plus CM90 Mono from Berkley. So with me today I've got the Direct Connect Plus CM90 monofilament from Berkley. This is the £8 version in my hand. There's 6 different diameters and strength available in the range. I'm also using that, I think it's £15 on my main reels at the moment. I have been using that for the last few sessions. I'm very impressed with it so far. I thought I'd run you through some of the main characteristics of this. With it being a monofilament, it's probably one of the most widely used types of line, and that's because it's just so easy to use. Now if I get out the spool from its plastic tub, these are of course completely recyclable, but when you're not in use you can always put pop-ups and things in there, or different baits or to glug. You can still use those or recycle them if you wish, but then they come in 1200 meter spool like so you get stacks of line on there. This is the £8 0.28mm version. If I just run some of it off, you can see it just falls straight off the spool. There's no memory in it, it's just very easy to use, and it's quite smooth to the touch. There's very minimal resistance, and this aids it in its casting capabilities. Now I was flinging a lead around earlier with a, I think 3.5 ounce lead, £8 line, strong enough for the cast, and I was whacking it as hard as I could with a 2 3/4 rod, and it just flies off. It absolute breeze. Very rare I use a line of this weakness, so like £8 or diameter, and you can see why it's so good to use for distance casts. Now of course if you're whacking big leads or big weight, like big distances, you're probably more likely to use some kind of shock leader with this to take the initial inertia of the cast, but then once this is flying out through the eyes, so little resistance, you'll be able to cast great distances with ease. Now Berkley lines are made in America, and although they're not as big on their carp fishing as we are over in this country and in Europe, they were given an exact brief so that the line came out exactly how they wanted. It needs to be high abrasion resistance, minimal stretch, sink well, cast well, and that's exactly what we've got here. Now I've run a couple of tests on the abrasion resistance. As you can see from some of the clips, I've got a Stanley knife blade and ran that along the line. And this being the £8 version, eventually did break as you'd expect. And of course, as you go up through the different strengths and diameters, you'll get even more abrasion resistance from it. But very impressive considering this is £8, and even more impressive when I did the test on the tree trunk just to my left. And I didn't actually break it in the end. I was filming it for a good 30-40 seconds or more, and it just did not break on that tree trunk. So if you're fishing on a water where you can get away with £8 line, but there are still some snags in there where it could rub up against it, you can be rest assured that this is going to be able to stand up to the test. And also stretch. Now mono can often be quite a stretchy line. This is £8, so you expect it to be quite stretchy, but again I did a test. There's such little stretch in it. It's very, very impressive for this to be just an £8 mono. And I know I've only got a couple of inches of line there, but you'd expect that to keep stretching, and it just doesn't. It has a little bit of stretch and then it's solid. So your sensitivity and actually playing the fish, you're not going to be losing too much stress or too much pressure through the line. And then we come on to how well it sinks. Now, as I said, I'm using the £15 version on my lines at the moment. And when I cast those rods out yesterday, I slackened them right off and put the hangers down quite low. By this morning, those hangers are at the top and almost at the alarm. So it continues to sink, and we'll just hug the bottom of the lake bed perfectly. And because it's so supple, as you can see, it will hug the contours of the lake bed very nicely. And as I mentioned earlier, these come in 1200 meter spools, so obviously check the specs of your reels, but these should cover 3 reels with ease. Of course, this is the 0.28mm one, so this is a very small diameter, but as you step up through your different diameters, as they get a little bit thicker and stronger breaking strains, of course this will cover 3 reels with ease. Again, going back to what I've got on the reels at the moment, one of these spools filled 3 of your standard big pitch style reels, so there really is no issue of running out of line with these size spools. So for more information on the CM90 and all the other different breaking strains in this range and all the other different ranges of line, please head over to the Berkley website. But for now, cheers for watching, and I'll see you again soon.